Hi everyone, welcome back to the open world survival game tutorial series. I hope you all enjoying this series so far. So in this episode, we're going to make an ability for gathering rocks and make it more realistic. So here is what we will achieve in this tutorial. As you can see, and it's still weird that the player does not have axe yet, but in the future will be. So if you find this tutorial helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe. So a reminder of what we had made from the last episode, interacting with the item, open the inventory, and we can use the mouse to navigate through it. But the problem is, so if you use the gamepad and we interact with the item, everything works normal. But when we open the inventory with the left shoulder button, we cannot navigate through the inventory, and this is a problem, so let's fix it quickly. Let's go to the UI and inventory, and in the inventory, this one, we need to go here, and here in this function, get desired focus on target, we set focus on inventory grid, but let's get the tile and we set focus on the tile instead of the grid. And now, so we're using the controller interact, and when we toggle the inventory, we can navigate through the inventory. Next, so here in the system, pickup and interaction, I'm going just to make this 150, the sphere radius 100, and let's just remove the debug, we don't need it anymore. We close this, and before we start we need to change the spheres, so go to fab and let's look for rock. So this one is good, as you can see it's 1 meter, so let's just choose the quality, high quality, and let's add it to the project. When it's open, we go to the static meshes, choose this, and let's go to the actor, static mesh, let's put it there, let's do the same here. And as you can see, the static mesh, it's too small, so we go to the base. As you remember, we scaled the sphere down, so let's put it back to 1. Do the same here, 1, and drag this to the ground. Same here, let's just drag it a little bit further. Save it. Camera speed, let's just, now it's still working, but we need like an animation so we can play it, and I'll find an animation. So there is this animation here in Fab, which is very sample animation set. We add it to the project. When the animation is downloaded, go to the animation, resource gathering set, and go all the way to this animation. this one, mining pickaxe loop. We need to retarget this animation. Too many. The first one here, and let's look for mining loop and export animation. We can audit here to the arrows, mannequin, animation, add new folder here in the animation, and let's call it gathering animation, and export it. We're going to remove this from here, and let's do right click and create an anim montage. Let's call it anim montage, gathering, mining, and let's open it. Let's remove fab. So we start with the default slot, and let's make it full body. Let's just save it, close it, and let's open it again. And we need, like in the blending, put it back to linear, and same here. That's it here. We need another thing, which is we need anim notify track here, gathering mining, and we need to copy this and save it. And let's go over here and let's create an anim notify, this one, and select it, anim notify, gathering mining, save it, and let's open it. So we start with get notify name and paste it here, and the second one, which is receive notify. So when we receive notify here, so get player character, and let's check if it is valid, just in case. If it's valid, send gameplay event to actor, and we need to send an event to tell the ability that we hit the actor here. So here in the gameplay event, you can just gonna make a new subtag, and let's call it instruction, and hit actor. Make sure it's set to this, and add it, and just we can send information by this pile by just make, and we can send all this kind of information to the ability, but we don't need that. We need only the timing, which is when this happened. You can do this and return false. Let's close this, and here in the gathering mining, we need the time when he hit the rock. So So let's go one frame and see. So here we hit the actor. So in the gathering mining, we need an anim notify and choose the one we create, gathering mining. And let's save it and let's close it. Next, we go to the system, pickup, and in here, let's create a gameplay ability. Layer gameplay ability, and let's call it gameplay ability. Gameplay ability gathering mining. Save it and let's open it. And let's remove this. And let's come over here and activate ability from event. Let's break this. Break gameplay event data. And let's promote this to variable. And we do the same with the target. For now, let's just play montage and wait. The montage is gathering mining, and on blend out, we can just do a branch over here, and if it's raw, we go back and play the montage again. If we come over here and here in the ability, we set it to gathering mining, which is this one, and we test. We start interacting with the item, but we can still move and go all the way like this. So let's fix that. So when we move, we exit the ability. So you can create a macro over here, and let's call it int when player move, and let's give it input output, choose this one, and for the names I choose double space and here space. So I'm going to do sequence here. So this is going directly, and from here I'm going to do a branch, and if the condition true, we end the ability. Do a delay like for 0.1 second, and let's just drag it over here. Drag this like this. Let's drag this a little bit here. So the condition is, let's come over here and do get player character and check it's valid. If it's valid, let's promote it to a variable. I think we can use this later, so just drag this over here and set this here, And if it's not, we can end the ability. And we're still not done with this, so get the player character, get movement, not this one, and from here we get last velocity, and we just, so vector length x and y, and if this is greater, then let's make it 10, which is 10 is very small. So if you just tap the button, it will not end the ability, but if you keep like your finger on the button, then this is will be true and it will end the ability. So let's test it. So if we move, we exit the ability, but we had another issue, which is we can still rotate the camera, and we need to keep the player always facing the rock, not fixing the empty place. To fix that, it's easy. So we get the player character, and we use, so set use controller rotation yaw, and let's leave it as false. But when we end the ability, we need to turn it on again. So you can just come over here and on end ability. So let's just duplicate this and let's drag it over here and set it back to true. And so now we can look like further away, and we can interact with the item and keep always facing the actor. And if we move, we exit and we get back the rotation. So when he hit the rock, we need to get the information. So let's drag this over here. And just before we play the montage, let's go sequence. And we need to drag this a little bit down, so we do some code over here. And here we need to wait gameplay event. And for the event we're waiting for is the one here in the gameplay event. And instruction hit actor, and it's just to hear a print string, and let's make it like actor hit, and let's test it and see. And as you can see, it's actually working fine. So now, since like this is working and this is working, but we need to know like the health of the item. So like when we hit the item like 4 times, then the item will be destroyed. So here, let's go to the system, world items, collectibles, and this one, the base of all the items. Here we need like current health, and we need another one for like max health. Let's make them both float, and instance editable and expose on spawn, same as this one, and compile, and let's give them both like 100 and here 100. Let's remove this. So to send this current health to the gathering mining, there is two ways. So we can cast the target, but I'm not doing that. So I will use the interface. So here in the gathering, I just make blueprint interface here. Let's call it interface, and interaction. Let's make it gathering interaction. Save it, open it, get current health, and another one which is set new health. This one will have input of float, which is new value, and this one will have an output of current health. And here, class settings, and here in the interfaces, we'll look for gathering interaction, and here we have these two interfaces. So we start with set, and we just set the current health here. For the get current health, we just get the current health and plug it over here. That's it here, so we should close it. And now here, so before we do anything, we'll get this one from here and get current health message, and check this. If it's less than 5, we can just return true. And if it's true, let's just remove this one from here. If it's true, it's less than, we can just end ability, and if it's not, let's get the target and set new health message and plug this over here. For the new value of the health, let's just get the current health from here and let's subtract like 35. Let's plug it here. So this is going to be 4 hits. So 4 hits to destroy the item. And let's just go here or here. It's already in this place. And so on hit, we need to send the information of the pickup items to the inventory. What I'm going to do is here in the inventory, going to make another gameplay ability. Player gameplay ability, and this one will be specific for adding the item to the inventory, which is I'm gonna make it like add item, and let's just open it and on activate. So here on activate ability, we can just drag from here, wait for experience ready. So in case the experience is not ready yet, so not all the items are loaded, we need to get from here and we listen for gameplay messages, and from here let's just go to the gameplay event, and here in the interaction I'm just going to add like interaction inventory add item and just add it, and we just select it. Further here we can look for inventory, it's inventory pickup, and we can break this, and here for each loop we're going to, so when the experience is ready, get controller from actor info, and let's get component by class. The class is the inventory, and let's do promote to variable here. Let's call it inventory. But before we do that, let's check is valid. So in case is valid, we go and listen for the message of getting the item. So, and now what we need to do, we get the inventory, add item, and this one we call function add item, plug it here, and let's plug this over here and this over here. And let's go back where to the pickup and the mining over here. I'm going to make here a variable is item destroyed, so by default it's going to be false. So let's compile. So by default turn it off. When we get the hit actor, we're gonna get this and save, Control X to cut, Control V, so we're going to check the current health And if it's less than 5, we set this to true. And if it's not, we need to update this. Control X and drag this over here. Drag this here. And we need to get this in here. So we can just decrement by 35. And here we set to false. And we're going to get messaging subsystem. And from here, we're gonna broadcast a message. Broadcast a message, and what we're going to broadcast in the channel of gameplay event and instruction inventory odd item. I'm just going to get this over here. Get pickup inventory, this one, and I'm going just to drag this over here. So before we end the ability, so we'll destroy this actor. So let's just destroy actor, and let's see how this is gonna work now. So let's go interact with the item 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if we open the inventory, there is nothing because we still didn't add, like, we need to add this, sorry. So we need to add this odd item to the player here in the ability set. We need to add odd item, just this one. Save it. We don't have to give it any input, so we can just go inside it here. And for ability activation on input trigger, we can do it on spawn. And for the ability tag and this, we're gonna work with them later, but for now, let's just see if this is gonna work. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And when we open, we get this. So here, instead of just destroying the item, I'm going to, like, come over here and execute gameplay queue with parameters on owner. And here, for the gameplay queue tag, I'm going like with shooter core, interact, and collect. And here we're just gonna go for this one, make gameplay queue parameters, and get the target and put it on the source object. And for the instigator, you can plug this over here, and this is it. This gameplay queue effect, it's here in open favorites, and it's shooter core gameplay queues. So it's this one here in the end. So after the end, we get the actor to pick up, and we destroy the actor. Destroy actor and plug it over here. And let's compile, save, let's close this. And now when we test, this is what we got. And this is it for this tutorial.